Afternoon, and a quick note about something that has been paramount in my mind and heart over the last 11 months, but quite frankly, the last 10 to 11 years. The National MS Society is a collective of passionate individuals who want to do something about MS now, to move together towards a world free of multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is comprised of unpredictable and often disabling flare ups of the central nervous system. Such flare ups disrupt the flow of information within the brain and between the brain and the body. The National MS Society is the largest private funder of MS researchers in the world, investing more than $1 billion to date. MS stops people from moving, but the National MS Society exists to make sure that MS doesn't. To contact the National MS Society, please call 1 800 344 4867. Once again, 1 800 344 4867. Or go to their website at nationalmssociety.org. Thank you to all of you who have donated money to this amazing organization or have gone to their website to learn more about what multiple sclerosis and demyelination is. It affects me and over to 1 million people in this country that have multiple sclerosis in so many ways, and we appreciate all of you. And on that,
it's time to talk.
Stevie cannot understand why we set the clocks ahead or back in the fall, ahead in the spring. No idea. All she knows is she knows how to be a kitten. She knows how to be a kitten, and we know how to talk about anything and everything because this is the Venture Forward. We have talks. Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon once again. And I'm JV, and that is a cantankerous Triceratops who thinks he's a T-Rex, who will always be a character on this show, who made a cameo on the show last night and is taking his rightful place on top of my copier in the corner of my office. Rex? Oh, you want me to say that? He says good evening. I don't know what's going on. I think it might be the new moon earlier in the week. I have no idea what that's about. But good evening, good morning, good afternoon to all of you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. It is an absolute honor and pleasure to see all of you tonight. And we got a lot of people here. I want to say hi to all of you real quick. And we got Laura Williams with the winner of the door prize saying, hey, JV and Matt. Good evening to you, Laura. Hope you're doing well. We got Rich, who says, evening, guys, on YouTube. Hope you're doing well, sir. Awesome fun things. What's this awesome fun things? I have no idea what that is. No idea. Sarah says, JV, Matt. Sarah, how are you? How you doing? Good morning, I would believe that is for you. Sammy says, so cute. Cute cat. Yeah, Stevie. Stevie has grown a liking to her father. I don't know what's up with this universe, but like she's spending a lot of time with me. Couldn't even do an open without her purring and jumping around, so she ended up being part of the open. That's what happens. This awesome fun thing says something really. My office is very extra messy. I need your professional services. Haha, Sarah. How are you? And then Sammy's confused with the all things YouTube. Like, there used to be all things YouTube, and then there's awesome fun things, and we'll talk about that in a second. Michelle over on YouTube says, love this tune. Michelle, good to see you this evening. And yeah, of course, you're confused. Yeah, I get confused real easy too. It's very easy. Michelle loves the kitties. And Gilly Man over on YouTube says, discipline equals freedom with a check mark. Good evening, Gilly. Hope you're doing well. I have an idea who this awesome fun things is. Just let me think about this for a second. Could it be Mahas?
JV,
Mahas,
how are you, my friend?
How you doing?
How's everybody out there in Venture Forward land? Hello, hello. I'm restreaming on Awesome Fun Things too, so we're covering all of the interweb bases, JV.
All of the interwebs are being covered. That's good. It's important.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Important to have all the interwebs covered and all of that, and yeah, got all that figured out. Laura just subscribed to Awesome Fun Things, so there you go.
Well, thank you so very much. And I will not let you down, Laura.
That's the Matt Haas guarantee.
Oh my goodness.
Michelle called me a cat daddy. Thank you, Michelle. Paul Burke, who is either kidnapped or whatnot, says hello. By the way, love the avatar, love the thumbnail. That's an incredible style over there. Marcus says, hi, JV. Hi, Marcus. Hope you're doing well,
Marcus
sir.
Marcus is here. Hello. Didn't see you slip in there.
And we got another subscriber. Michelle says she's going to subscribe to Awesome Fun Things right now. So there you go.
Excellent. You go. For those that just subscribed, you win one pat on the back, but you will have to administer that to yourself. So I appreciate it.
On Tuesdays, it's 2 pats.
Yeah, well, there's a rare stream days for me, but I mean, hey.
They call it 2-Pat Tuesday.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. Sammy subscribed to all your channels, Matt.
Excellent. Yeah, I have quite a few on the interwebs. Yeah.
Let's see how good Sammy is. Sammy, how many channels does Matt have? Let us know in the comments.
That's a hard question to answer, even for me. Because I've got active channels, I have defunct channels, I've got channels that I've created and don't use anymore. I got channels I created and never used.
So of the active channels and inactive channels, what does the Matt Haas filmography or channelography or YouTubeography or biography look like?
Well, it covers 4 main areas. It covers woodworking, and I've got this channel, Awesome Wood Things.
Kaplow.
That's my biggest channel. That's been around almost 8 years now. I teach people how to be awesome on YouTube here.
Kablam.
I
like the user thing.
That will say Awesome Fun Things. That's where I'm signed in on the chat today. And that's my miscellaneous channel. It's like a vlog or anything that doesn't fit. And then I've got this one, Piano Awesome.
Gilly just subscribed to Awesome Fun Things. You're at 279 now.
Fantastic. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank you.
And Marcus subscribed to 50% of your channels.
But, that's, even though I put my life on YouTube for those 4 areas, there's a lot of other things I'm really excited about that I don't have YouTube channels for. But for now, I've got 4, and who knows? I was thinking about making a finance channel. I was thinking about making a meme channel. I've got lots of plans to make more channels, but I think I need to find my groove on these 4.
Rich says, by the way, Matt, I caught an old video of yours with a certain dance routine.
Excellent. Yes. That was my crowning achievement. This white little blob right above my finger is my trophy I won because I entered a dance competition in my town and I danced in front of my entire town and I won that trophy. It was crazy.
That is worth a round of applause. That is worth a round of applause.
It's definitely up like in the top 20 accomplishments of my life. I nailed that performance and the crowd went crazy because I flipped my partner 360 degrees.
Wow.
It was insane. I don't know if anyone watching this show has had a whole stadium full of people stand up and cheer for you because you just did something. It was quite the experience. Anyway.
Michelle says she'll be happy to ring that bell for any of your channels, Matt. You're a very entertaining gentleman, sir.
Bob, I am. Yes.
Fablam. Kaplow.
JV. I got to tell you.
What happened?
There's a lot of hardships going around. And there's a lot of hardships in my family. There's a lot of hardships with me. 2020 was a hard thing to get through. 2021 up to this point is hard. But this week, I am happy to say the stars have aligned and there were multiple good news events that happened to me and my family. It was, I think I'm having the best week of my life.
You're saying before you're having the best week ever.
Oh, yeah. And the icing on the cake was finding those 2 rare Pulp Fiction memes. I found 2 new memes, but that's just the, oh, Michelle's over there on Awesome Fun Things. Thank you. Yep. No, let me talk about myself for a little bit because I think you'll be interested.
Should I put you on solo? Do you want?
Hey, I don't care.
Okay.
So, my full-time job. This is the end of the year of assessment, and I put in my self-rating, and I rated myself at 1, but it came back higher. They're like, "No, Matt, you weren't that good. You weren't this good. You were this good." So, that's turning out good. My wife is taking a small promotion at her work. So that's good. And my son, who will soon graduate college in a couple months, is getting an intern position, but he talked to his professor, and now it's probably going to turn into a better position, which would be something he would want to do full time after he graduates. So it started out with just let's get some help on the resume to do a little foot in the door type of thing. And now it's going to be, so it's that outlook is looking really good.
Yeah. Rock on, man.
And my brother, Steve, again, Haas family. So that's me, my wife, my son, and my brother was inducted into the Bowling Hall of Fame last weekend. And that was crazy. We had family and friends there, and we partied and celebrated, and we watched his speech. And so that's like a major milestone. I don't know. It's just everything sort of going the way it should. Doesn't
Nice.
happen. It
No.
doesn't. I'm lucky to get like one of those events in a year, but in this week it was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Matt, I want to tell you something. You know, for all that you do, you're a hard worker. You're a very hard worker. In whatever content you're talking about, your day job, the stuff that you do on your channels, all the thought leadership you do. You deserve a week like this. You absolutely do. And bravo, Matt. That's incredible news, and very proud of you. A lot of people on the comments are saying that's great news, Matt.
Yep. Yep. And
Jamie says, "Good evening. How you doing, Jamie? Hope you're doing well."
I just want to be clear. There's a lot of other things I'm struggling with. Things aren't completely easy in the outlook, especially the run up to Christmas. But it can't take away my smile. I can't let that dampen the good news that I just had.
Man, we take every win we can, right?
Yeah.
It's about taking, not, reveling too high above the win, but really enjoying and savoring the win and taking the news and dealing with it and course correcting, and when it's on the flip side of it. It's just...
Oh, there was something else really cool happening.
Okay.
So at the banquet that honored my brother, my cousin was there. Now, I don't get to see this particular cousin very often. I swear to you that this guy is the coolest guy you will ever meet in your life. He is, and he asked me, he's like, Matt, I know you're an artist. I need some help with these two projects. And he described what they were. And I'm like, anything you want. And I did it. And I and they're moving forward. He likes what I'm doing. So I'm working closer with my cousin. He's like, we got to start hanging out more. I'm like, you're goddamn right we do. But no, seriously, this guy, first of all, wicked smart.
Okay.
Like wicked smart. He's literally, like, and I'm using the word as the Webster definition. He actually is a rocket scientist.
He's a rocket scientist.
I told him, I was like, I should get you a shirt. Well, as a matter of fact, I am a rocket scientist. Yeah, no, he worked for third-party space flight systems. He worked for NASA. He worked at the Pentagon. He has a military career, and he was all set to go up on, well, not all set, but he was on track to go up on the space shuttle. A few decades ago when they were having the space shuttle, he was picked, and he was vetted. He was approved. He was going through it, and then they said he can't go. Do you know why? Cigarette smoker.
Oh no.
That was the only thing. He was going to deploy some satellite. He was going to oversee like a mission specialist to do something, and they wouldn't let him do it. But still, he's the coolest guy. Anyway, so I'm working with him, and he's liking what I'm doing. So.
Michelle nailed it. She says you got to make time for family, and when your family includes a rocket scientist, well, you definitely have to make time for them without question.
Yeah. He was he gave me his business card, and it is in my house somewhere. I don't know where it is. I think it was Northrop Grumman.
Oh, man.
But the he was there for a short time because he bounced all over the place. But the what do you call it? The slug line, the slogan for his department was Manned Space Flight Systems. Manned Space Flight System. Is that not the most badass business card?
Oh,
I know I'm not
God,
showing it to you, but just imagine what that was. I was like, oh man.
Sammy, following question protocol, and puts a question into the comments, says, are these Matt's channels? Matt has an Adobe channel, then he has one about YouTube, woodworking, awesome fun things, and then Matt's music channel, and then the Matt Haas channel.
That's essentially right. Yeah, I had Learn Adobe Now, which is still out there on the interwebs, but there's nothing, it's not active. And I do have a Matthew Haas channel, which is identical to 5 million other Matthew Haas channels. But that's the one you get when you have Gmail and they just give you a YouTube channel. And I do have stuff out there. It is public, but it's not anything, it's just stuff like pictures of my car making a weird noise. It's pictures of the rain spout, like property stuff. It's just weird stuff that I just need a YouTube channel to stick it on.
All things random car noises.
Oh, and my dance competition is on that Matthew Haas channel, which I don't, because that just seemed like it. And I dare not move it because it was copyright. It's copyright restricted in Germany. But it everywhere else.
Did you get in violation with Hasselhoff again?
That's the thing about copyright, is that the owner, the person making the claim that they own it, has weird and far-reaching powers of what they can do, and it can get very targeted. They're like, it's going to play with ads everywhere in the world, except it's not allowed to play in Germany. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Germany. Gilly has a question for you. Didn't use the international convention though, and says, so kidding, Gilly, you're fine. So he made it into the museum in Texas, the International PBA Hall of Fame.
This was a local Hall of Fame. This wasn't the federal chapter.
And then Gilly says, must have some 300s. How many 300s does your brother have?
He lost count. On the paper, it was 37.
37.
But
man alive,
it's probably double that. And now these are recorded during tournament. This isn't just going to the what. Put it this way: I went with my son and my father and my pro bowler brother and his two sons to the bowling just one Sunday just to play around. He bowled. My brother bowled a 300. His son bowled a 300. Same game, and his other son bowled all strikes except the last ball.
Oh, he had 11? He had 11, and oh my God.
He had 298 or 299 or something like that.
He left a pin up, or left two pins up.
This is just the caliber of my fam. The Haases are bowlers and golfers. Now, neither of those hit me, and we play blackjack a lot. So.
Blackjack.
That's the Haases for you.
Paul says Matt's taco memes are better than my jokes.
It's true. I have a Facebook page called Awesome Taco Memes, and you can drop a like on it, and then you'll get a meme every morning. Let me give you the link to that.
And Rich asks, is that because of the jump music, the thing with you were mentioning before? The dance.
What's the question?
Rich was asking before, was it because of the jump music?
Oh, yes. Jump is the name of the song. It's Van Halen's Jump.
Oh, Van Halen, right.
The record company.
Been a long week.
Do you want me to put that in the chat too?
Yeah, go ahead.
People want to see my dance competition, which you should watch.
At least twice.
It's worth watching.
Maybe 3 times. Gilly has a very good question. If that was a strike, then what opens the Stargate to a new dimension?
300 games in a row.
900 series. Was it in a series? The 300s?
Apparently they track that as well. He's on record for having multiple 300 games in a row. And he told this story because my brother gave a speech, and he was it wasn't a tournament, but he was at this event with young high school bowlers, and there was this one young woman who was a senior, and she was having a horrible time, and someone pointed it out, says, I got it, and he was working with her, and then Steve got all strikes except the 12th frame, like the last ball, and he says, I want you to bowl this last frame, and then you can say that you had a 300 game because you threw the ball during the game, even though he bowled all of the frames up to this point. She's like, no, I'm not going to do it. He's like, look, it's just 10 pins, just go up and knock 10 pins down. And he said she rolled that ball, and it was a perfect throw. Like, he knew as soon as she released it, it was going to smack him
right in the pocket.
And it did. And she was beside herself. And then a few days later, she went back to my brother and said, word got around of what happened. and now I have a scholarship for bowling for college because of this story. What she got a small scholarship for bowling, and Steve was like, that's why I do what I do. That's why he spends his life learning that game and perfecting the game.
And this
Oh no! Don't watch the comedy routine. Don't do it. Don't do it. One, I'm not funny, and two, it's very raunchy. Like PG-13 is not it needs to be more than.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I thought I was funny.
Austin says, hello, JV. Hello, Matt. And then Austin also says, I'm watching my cousin stream on Twitch, so that's why I'm over here.
All right.
That's a ringing endorsement for your cousin, right?
Woot, 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 woot.
Jamie says, that's cool with the bowling pins. Wow, haha. And Jamie also says, you are funny. Matt, you are funny. You're very funny. I'm glad you're part of this show.
So how are things in JV's world? How are you, my friend?
Oh, where do I begin?
To share with us today?
Where do I begin? I sit here just really in awe. Not only of the week that you've had, but basically of the things that got accomplished this week, and not putting the cart before the horse. There are a lot of things that still have to happen, but I think there's a denouement to the situation. There was a problem with the mortgage, and I think we've turned a corner, a good corner, thank God. So that happened today. A lot of good workouts this week, and weight wise, I'm down to. Everybody says, "Is that your goal? Is that your goal? Is that your goal?" Well, I don't know what my goal is anymore, but I clearly would tell you, yeah, it's probably my goal. 175. I'm in a really good place. And is it knocking the crap out of me from the sense that I'm tired? Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm really grateful. And tomorrow I got another spin class, and tomorrow I work out more, and I like it. I like it. And as long as I have enough energy to get up and do it, I'm doing it. So, but yeah, and then work is picking up. A lot of interesting stuff in this fourth quarter. A lot of good stuff to learn. I mean, it's been really good. Jamie's pants broke today, and I haven't been able to go home and change her pants.
Is that a wardrobe malfunction?
Could very well be.
Oh, I have another piece of good news if you would like me to share. So,
and then Jamie also says, hard work can make you tired for sure, but you're doing great, JV. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. And Jamie says, thankfully, her shirt is longer.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
Next piece of good news.
I've been dealing with a nuisance health issue, minor skin something or other. And it's just like, I don't want to go into detail, but I'm like, it's one of those things like, I'm just going to deal with it. It's nothing. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to my doctor, which moved locations. And it's like, okay, I'll go 45 minutes away, whatever. Because I found a doctor I really like. And he looked at it. He says, I know exactly what that is. You're going to use this. You're going to use it for a month. It'll be gone and it'll never come back. He says, I'm glad you came in. I was like, I was really worried about it. I'm like, I don't want to bother you, but not so much that. But I'm like, am I wasting the effort? Like, it's probably, but it was annoying and it just wouldn't get better. And so I've got a solution, so it'll be gone. And he says, if this doesn't work, he's like, we can do a tele session. And if I have to, I'll freeze it off. And if that doesn't work, I'll cut it off, so no matter what, it's gonna be gone in a month. So
it's always so important to have a doctor you can trust. And man,
dude, first of all, the way Matt Haas rolls his life is the professionals I use in my life, like accountant, for example, and doctors and the dentist and vision. they got to be the best.
Mhm.
I will not settle for, because and when those types of issues, like, you can't play,
Mhm.
like, you
No.
can't skimp on them. And this guy I got, he knows his stuff, and he talks very confidently about, like the one I had to have something sliced off of me, and um I'm like, well, should I go to a plastic surgeon? Like, anyway, he says, listen, I'll tell you what, you can go to the dermatologist, you can go to a plastic surgeon, but I'm telling you straight up, Matt, he's like, I've done more than 100 of these. I'm probably better than the professionals that do it. And I know he's not bragging about himself. I could tell he's genuine, and he did a bang up job.
Mm.
And here's another thing, his side gig is he goes to mixed martial arts fights,
Oh man.
and his client is the boxer, and his job is to stop the fight so his client doesn't get killed in the ring. And he told me so
He's the
many
person that
stories.
throws in the towel.
He'll stop the fight. Well, he's not
Yeah.
the judge. He's not the ref, but he has the power to shut the fight down.
Mm.
And he says things like, here's what you do. Okay, your man's on the ground. You gotta jump on top of him and put both of his hands under both of your knees. He says, because when they come to the person that got knocked out, it's as if no time has passed, and they'll see you and they'll punch you because I think you're the opponent. So I was like, I didn't say this to him, but I was like, I would love to go out to dinner with my family doctor because he's the coolest. He's the coolest dude.
You have stories for hours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does talk. I don't know. He's really good. And now he's so good. They gave him his own office,
Mm.
and he's like, you need to get this new office. Whip them into shape, and he did. And now, the self-checkout is in the room. You don't have to go to the stage. He's putting in all these anyway, but
Austin's reminding Jamie to use duct tape because it fixes almost everything. And Rich
Yeah.
reminds us that Jamie, it sounds worse where he's from. In the UK, pants does not mean trousers.
Oh, yeah. There's different terms over there.
And Michelle says it's important to have a good team. I agree. I absolutely agree.
I do. Like my accountant, he used to give you a paper that said, I'm going to get you every bit of refund you're entitled to, and I'm going to go right up to the line. He used to say, if you want me to play it safe and not go that far, you need to opt into that. Otherwise, I'm going to squeeze water out money out of a stone, basically, is what he can do. And here's a fun story. I got all these stories. Tell me to shut up if I'm going too far.
This is good. Keep going.
Years ago, must have been 15 years ago, my boss, Patricia, is her name. She says, I need someone to do my taxes. I'm like, I got just the guy for you. She goes, okay. So he did her taxes. She comes in a couple weeks later and hugs me. I'm like, what's this about? She goes, your tax guy saved me 10 grand. I'm
oh
like,
my God.
I'm like, that's not true. I'm like, how? And here it turns out she was involved because he's so thorough.
Coffee.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
She was involved in a fraud, that someone defrauded her, and the accountant was so good, and the questionnaire, the new customer questionnaire was so thorough. He's like, I know exactly what that is. The statute of limitation runs out next year. We got to take action on this. He got all the money back that she lost. If she'd have waited 1 year to see him longer,
Should have been SOL.
Guess it got a raise that year.
Without question. Without question.
And this is the guy. And my accountant is also a drummer in they tour in an 80s rock band twice a month. They have gigs. And so he's a rock star accountant, but he's an accountant first, and he's a damn good accountant. Like he just enjoys. He enjoys the topic.
Well, it's his main job. It's his main gig. He loves his main gig. He takes an obvious pleasure in it. He's always trying to find the best for his clients. That's incredible. And then he's got plenty of stories, and he's fun. He's just a renaissance man. If you think of it, think of that.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that can derail your life, and having subpar professionals can really wreak havoc. I mean, the person that does my eyes is a doctor of ophthalmology. You know, it's not just some,
But also a blackjack dealer.
Probably. Yeah. And anyway,
Austin
I'm
asks,
looking for a new dentist. I need a new dentist.
What kind of coffee? Is it dark roast? Is it medium roast? Is it light roast? Are you using creamer? I'm glad you asked the question. It is dark roast. I know I always talk about my Starbucks, but this is the Dunkin' Espresso blend, and it's black, no creamer. That concludes this version of JV's Coffee Talk.
One of my crowning achievements as a father is when I got my son off the caramel macchiatos and onto black coffee. He accidentally drank my black coffee because we got the cups mixed up. He goes, "Oh, that's disgusting." I'm like, "That's the way it's supposed to taste. You're basically drinking a candy bar with a little bit of coffee in it."
It's like the Dennis Leary routine about coffee-flavored coffee and beer-flavored beer. It's how we really become we go to like a 7-Eleven, we get maple nut crunch for coffee and whatnot. It's like, I like coffee and I like it black. I don't need to add any cream in it. First of all, not that I'm lactose intolerant, but it's a sinus thing. It's an inflammation sort of thing. So I like to drink my coffee black. Second of all, I do like dark roast. I like a stronger cup of coffee. So
dark roast has less caffeine.
I know, but I like the taste of dark roast.
But still, it is yummy. And I love the Starbucks. I love the bitterness of their coffee. Oh, love it.
That's why I'm an Americano guy over there. We got a solution to that question, by the way. Jamie says, "What the heck does pants mean in the UK then?" And Rich informs her, undergarment. Undergarment. If you're scoring at home, that's what pants are.
Pantaloons.
Austin does not like coffee. He prefers unsweetened iced tea. Specifically, come on, you can, black tea.
Very good.
And Sarah says, I don't do black coffee. She uses rice milk. Oh, got the wrong graphic up there. There we go. There we go. We'll get that up there, and then we could talk about the thing that, I'll talk about Austin real quick. JV, I haven't worked on the presentation yet because I've been so stressed out, but I'm going to work on it this week. Austin, take your time and just let me know when you're ready, and we'll go over it, and I would love for you to give that talk on the main show. Jamie says black coffee gross. Au contraire, monsieur. And Enda says get a good coffee in the delis in New York City. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, Enda.
My neighbors are setting off fireworks.
Oh, that's what that sound was in the background.
Yeah, I was watching the soundboard and I can see the pops going. So we'll have to deal with that, folks.
It's okay, no worries. Michelle says, I so wish I could be one of the cool coffee kids. When you mentioned the hot chocolate a few minutes ago, I'm saying, boy, hot chocolate does sound good because it got really cold here this week.
Hot chocolate's a lot full of sugar, though. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of chocolate, we got to figure out our Christmas candy lane over at the amusement park. Got to figure that out. We can't do it this weekend because I got the dog. I'm babysitting my son's dog, and so maybe the
weekend of the 19th.
Today. So maybe the 12th or the 19th, I'm thinking.
The 12th,
Friday.
I might be out of town, and if that's the case, I'll let you guys know. There might not be a BF Talks next week, but we'll figure out what's going on there. And the 19th is definitely more apropos. So yeah, let's shoot for the 19th. But if the 12th doesn't work out, then we can think about next weekend. That works.
Yeah, chocolate bar in a mug. That's exactly what it is. Some of those drinks at Starbucks. Yeah.
Getting the wrong graphics to pop up. Yes, a chocolate bar in a mug, and Austin. Oof. Don't ask my uncle. He doesn't have a thumb because of fireworks. Ouch.
Yep. That's not good.
No. It's the sort of thing where we say, you should leave it to the professionals. But then again, what is a professional?
Very protective of my hands because piano, computer, woodworking, like my whole life would crumble if I had a hand injury or a finger injury. So I'm very careful.
Michelle makes a really good point. Fireworks are cruel to wildlife.
Yeah.
And Sarah says, where do you buy them? That's not allowed here.
At the fireworks store, they've got Phantom Fireworks. There's Phantom Fireworks stores all over Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is more on the relaxed side of fire, not the most relaxed, but it's relaxed enough that people come into Pennsylvania to buy them and then they take them to the state.
To that point, from the New York Pennsylvania border along I-84, as soon as you cross the border into PA, within literally feet off of the line, there is a Phantom Fireworks store right there.
Still, I mean, what you're allowed to buy ain't all that, but at least it's something.
Well, in some states you could buy a lot more than that.
Yes, Sarah, there is. Going on mute here while they go. I think they stopped.
Austin giving us a gore warning. I'll put the graphic up. Why not? Back freshman year, I was debuting my metal, deburring my metal to TIG weld, and the metal got caught, and my thumb went into the grinder. I lost part of my fingernail. Everything is okay though. It's healed over.
Yeah, I took a welding class, and you're talking some high temperatures. Let me tell you, that is no joke.
Rich asks a very good question. Is Rex affected by the fireworks? No. Rex is the one that's launching them. And you think, wow, how does a stuffed animal do it? Come over here on Independence Day, you'll see. Is that a tease for next Independence Day? It might be. It may very well be. Michelle says, in my city, it's against a bylaw on setting them off, not on specific holiday weekends. That's up in Canada.
Well, my dog, she's going deaf, so she doesn't mind the fireworks.
That Rex is a troublemaker.
Oxyacetylene welding. That's the stuff that cuts through safes. Oxyacetylene.
Oxyacetylene welding.
They have machines that are 3-axis machines with the oxyacetylene torch, and they can cut out shapes in plate steel that you put underneath. They're freaking awesome.
Sarah says, in Australia, we can't have guns or fireworks probably because we all descended from convicts.
What is up with Australia? The world is looking at Australia. They took away, I don't want to go into it, but it's very different in Australia compared to the rest of the world. And it's something else. I'll just leave it at that.
Rich says if he is a stuffed animal, he should be extremely careful. Yeah, well, Rex is on the pay no mind list. Rex does whatever he wants to do.
He lives on the edge.
That's right. Austin says, my parents got married on July 4th, and my dad's birthday is July 4th, so he has no excuse to forget their anniversary. And Sarah reminds us that she's in COVID jail.
There's a life hack for you.
Did they
be born and be married on the 4th of July?
Did they bother calling it the Backstreet Boys reunion tour? No, she's in COVID jail. But Backstreet's back, all right.
I feel for my friends in Australia.
As do I.
Get out. Like, what's their only recourse? To leave. you know.
Michelle says, Rex, just remember, stop, drop, and roll if things go south. I mean, it's a good life lesson for anybody, isn't it? Let alone a
Rex
stuffed animal.
doesn't Rex doesn't fear death. He fears not living while he's alive.
That's right. Take each day, each minute, each second as it comes, especially when you're a stuffed triceratops who thinks he's a T-Rex.
Don't just take it as it comes. You got to grab it by the balls and squeeze till it's dead.
Yeah. To be specific, yeah, you should do that.
Life. I'm talking about life. You got to grab life by the cojones.
Sarah says we can't leave. It's jail in capital letters.
Oh my gosh, Sarah. She needs to take her cleaning spray bottle and go to the Prime Minister and go.
Jamie reminds us that Rex also writes poetry. Yeah, I haven't talked to any of Rex's poetry yet, but we'll get there.
But does he do Def Poetry Jam?
Yeah, with his middle finger extended. Rich says he doesn't fear death, just extinction. Michelle says, I think I like Rex. Yeah, Rex is a character, for sure. And as Austin admits to it, Rex is a streamer. He's wearing the streamer cap. I'll go on main for a second. Hold on. See. He's a streamer, right? So we can't forget that. You know what the funniest thing is? When Rex and I took the trip to Portland, a couple months ago, and he was sitting at PDX with that streamer cap on, I sent that picture over to a couple of individuals who would find that very interesting, and they both couldn't stop laughing. And that would be Callie and that would be Luria.
That's cool.
There's Rex at PDX with a streamer cap on, hanging out in baggage claim.
I dig it. That's a conversation starter, I'm sure.
And it says, when you don't fear life, you start living. That's right. That's absolutely right, and you're spot on there. Michelle says Rex was missing the limelight. Yeah, Rex does miss the limelight. And he will do anything he can to get in the limelight. He's very stealthy about it. But when he gets it, you know about it. Austin says, is he a streaming superstar, though? Shameless plug for Sammy. Yeah, I think he's the OG. I mean, very well be the OG. I mean, millions and millions of years. And then Jamie says, Faxenda. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I got some questions for the audience and for you.
Oh.
For future Piano Awesome videos, my plan is to make a couple holiday themed covers and then drop them in December. So yeah. So I guess the question is, what holiday song would you want me to play on the piano? So what's your favorite holiday song? I'll go first because my nephew's girlfriend, she loves that meme. Ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done. It's Carol of the Bells is the original song name. So I think the first one is going to be Carol of the Bells, which is the ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done.
Now, Matt, the important thing is you have to sing it like Peter Griffin.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't sing. I only do the piano. I can barely walk and chew gum at the same time.
Austin cracks up. LMA, the OG, reminds me of Callie's stream when Sammy said he was the OG PB streamer or PB viewer. Yeah. No, it's Rex. Hundreds of years. Rich says anything but Mariah from a DJ point of view.
Okay. Good. Oh, Sarah has a good topic. Switching topics here.
Anyone else excited for the new Ghostbusters? Yes.
I am. I can't wait. I want to see this little mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Yeah. I am super excited. Ghostbusters is a huge franchise. And people love Ghostbusters. And even a few of the sequels weren't that bad. Like that one with the painting. Like that was a pretty freaking
It wasn't bad at
scary
all.
and
I actually
awesome.
like that one too.
Yeah, yeah. Now we won't talk about 2016. That seems to be outside of.
We will
I don't
forget
know,
about that and not even talk about it and just, shuffle that underneath the rug.
yeah, but they say it's going to have a Stranger Things vibe, but it's going to stay true to the canon, and it's gonna. I don't know. I'm excited about it.
Rich
I'm
said
excited.
he's heard poor reviews for the film, unfortunately.
Well, I think you kind of get that. I think there's some review bombing in both directions. I think there's people trying to pull it down. I think there's people trying to push it up. But Paul Rudd, I like Paul Rudd, and there are a lot of callbacks to the original movie. A lot of and some of the actors that are still alive are making appearances in there. From what I can tell, it's going to be good. And
Austin,
at the least, it shouldn't be awful.
Austin's asking about Stranger Things season 4 next year.
That's a good franchise too.
Mm-hmm.
The Upside Down and Winona. Winona is a much better actress than people I think give her credit for. Like she and just the whole Stranger Things. Up until now, like everything's all polished and perfect, But here you see Stranger Things. It's in the 80s. These are downtrodden families. Their life's not perfect. It's just a good story that was true to life. There's a lot to like about Stranger Things.
Jamie says, I always say you got to make your own review,
If you follow the Matt Haas advice, it's you ignore the professionals and you only go with the audience.
That's right.
So if they what do they call them? The review what do they call them? Critics. You
Critics, right.
ignore the critics
Siskel
score,
and Ebert, both,
and you
dearly
just
departed
do
a long
the
time ago.
audience score. That's how you play it.
Sarah says, well, I love Solo and Rogue One, which also got bad reviews, so my hopes are high.
I didn't watch Solo. I refused to watch Solo. But Rogue One, many people say that was the best Disney Star Wars movie that they've ever done since Disney took over. Rogue One, and that was a good movie. I liked Rogue One.
Rich says he loves Winona, always best in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Deo. Yay.
Austin says Joe Keery is my favorite. He's also my favorite Dead by Daylight survivor. Austin also says I love the Venom movie and it didn't get great reviews. I almost said Venmo. That's how tired I am.
Todd McFarlane. He created Spawn, and I think is he involved in Venom?
I think so, but don't hold me to that.
But he's on his own. Hey, he's not playing the comic book industry. The poor. Have you been following the comic book industry? It is on life support.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing people are buying is manga from Japan.
Yeah.
You go into Barnes and Noble, there's 4 whole aisles full of manga, and there's 3 shelves full of United States graphic novels.
Rich is screaming that Morbius looks awesome.
Morbius? Is that a Neo, Matrix thing? Oh, no, it's Morpheus. Morbius? I don't know what that is.
Gilly asks a really good question. Isn't the universe itself just Star Wars?
No, Star Wars takes place inside of one galaxy. It does not spawn outside of a galaxy. All the references are the Galactic Empire. It's a galaxy. So there's more to the galaxy than Star Wars.
Austin playing his favorite game of the Squid Game and made it Dalgona today. It's a cookie that you shape out.
Oh, yeah. That was the honey cookie. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't following.
And it says, has anyone seen Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood?
I'll add that to the queue.
Morbius is Vamp from MCU. Vamp.
Oh, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
Okay. I'm not a huge Marvel fan, to be honest. I need my science fiction to be a little different than what Marvel brings. Not that I dislike Marvel.
Austin says, the son says, Dad, how do stars die? And the answer is, Dad, well, usually they overdose.
Oh my goodness.
Gilly then goes one further and says, as in the literal reality of stars at war and colliding with mass and gravity and endless explosions.
Well, it'll be funny to see what happens because everything is flying away from everything else at an accelerating speed, and eventually it will just be a cold, dark place.
Rich says, but Sony as it's a Spider-Man baddie. But Sony as it's a Spider-Man baddie.
Sony irritates me.
Austin says, I don't know why they call it honeycomb. It's literally just sugar and baking soda. Michelle says, hey, I wonder if there's a high caffeine, low sugar, sugar-free hot chocolate. Anyway, cheers.
If there is, send me an email. It's Matt at whatever channel name I have.com.
Matt at
No, seriously, I've got them all.
ESPN.com.
I've got Matt at awesomewiththings.com, Matt at allthingsyoutube.com. They're all there.
Austin going for the second. What is it called when a tree commits a crime? Treason. Michelle's officially searching, and if you do find it, hopefully they sell it at Costco, because hey, that's where we go to shop.
I was at Costco today.
See, it is the greatest week ever, isn't it?
See that big pile back there? All clothing I bought at Costco. Got some cool things.
Michelle loves the sound effects.
Oh.
And Austin says, Austin says, awesome tree things.
I got one more sound effect in my bank. Let me see what it is. This one. I got this.
Welcome to All Things YouTube.
Oh, nice.
That's all. I could put some background music.
Oh. Viewer discretion is advised. Michelle loves Costco. Rich following this up saying, so when red commits a crime, is it crimson? And it asks the question, did you buy Costco stock now that you know it's publicly traded?
I'm all in with Shiba Inu.
Oh, God.
It went up. Some dude dropped 28 million into the system and it pushed the market up 5%. Crazy.
Austin says, what did the farmer say when he lost his tractor? Where's my tractor?
Did you see there is a new crypto out there because Elon Musk got a dog and he got a Shiba Inu dog and he named it Loki. So there is a crypto coin called Loki Inu. You can't get it on Coinbase yet, but it is going to blow
Through the roof.
up. And it's a serious coin. They've got 3 major developments they're working on. They're working on an NFT. They're working on smart contracts, and they're working on something. It's supposed to be big. I want to buy some. How do you buy it without an exchange? I got to figure out how to buy crypto before it goes on to an exchange, because I want to get me a handful of Loki Inu coins, and I'll be a crypto millionaire.
Austin asks, alligator Loki?
Some Costco things. I should. There are some Costco haul and Costco pro shopping channels, multiple, and they're doing great. They're about 100,000 subs each.
Austin says, I'm kind of sad Owen Wilson didn't say wow in Loki. He,
Wow.
wow. There's some apps that you can trade crypto and a lot of the US based apps are getting up to what you could find. So it used to be that you would have to use a VPN and use the EU sort of versions of apps to go ahead and trade, crypto. But I think the American app market for crypto has gotten a lot better.
And you can make a wallet on your computer,
Mhm.
and then you can make the exchange and push it down to there. And then there's a way to do it, but I don't know how to do it.
Gilly asks a really good question. Will there be the same American dollar value?
Oh, there already is a USD coin. Yeah. It exactly follows the cost of USD. And people are doing just straight up business deals with USD coin because you can do the smart contracts. You could say, after you deliver my files, you will transfer $10,000 in USD coin from your, and then as soon as the transaction happens, the smart contract takes the money out of escrow and puts it in there. Yeah, there are legit business uses to use the blockchain to do business.
When industrialized or traditional or custodial FinServ starts looking into crypto, it's a big deal. When you can go to some of the oldest traditional or custodial banks that are out there and start talking cryptocurrency, it's a thing. The thing, as we're talking about before, is we have to have it available to many different channels, many different ways of acquiring said cryptocurrency of choice, etc.
It's starting. Is it on PayPal? I think PayPal is going to start
PayPal is,
accepting
yep.
it. Mr. Wonderful, he from Shark Tank. He is working on an app that tracks all the regulatory things with it. So you would do all the year-end paperwork to file your taxes. That's all up to snuff, and it's very hard.
Hey, Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn. Always good to see you. And the Purple Hearts, which I love.
I think this might be the best one from Austin yet. Is your last name Skywalker because you look so good? Oh man, all these jokes.
Did you see Dune, the movie Dune?
Yeah. I can understand the hoopla that you're giving it for weeks. I get it now.
I like that franchise a lot, and I'm really happy with Denis Villeneuve's take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really happy.
I think it was definitely needed.
I would love to see all the footage that hit the cutting room floor, because I think it was like 4 hours. I had to take time out of it.
Speaking of cutting room floors and horrible things that happen on set, what do you think is going to be made out of this whole Alec Baldwin thing?
Oh, yeah, I've got some thoughts there. Love Audio Productions here. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Paul. How you doing, sir?
Oh, the fun house is happening. Crap. Yeah. That is a complicated situation. There are many threads happening, and it's an ever-changing story. I mean, what do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be a bloodbath in the courtroom. Everyone's lawyering up. The bad thing about Alec is he was also a producer.
Yeah.
And the buck stops with him being a producer. And he wasn't just some he was producing it. So he was not only the talent, he was the producer, and that puts him in a bad light.
Austin just raised a really good point. This whole Alec Baldwin thing reminds him of Brandon Lee when he died on the set of The Crow.
Yeah. There's a lot of angles. That armorer, I mean, she had some horrible work ethic in the past on other sets
Mm-hmm.
with Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage walked off the set because she was so bad at doing that particular job.
Michelle met
Um,
Alec in 2019.
and it's tough because it's a movie set, so the rules or like the norms are a little different on a movie set. Now, he, should he have checked the rounds, Alec himself? Some people are saying, yeah, he should have, but then there was that assistant producer who wasn't the armorer who declared the gun a cold gun incorrectly.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna need courts to figure this one out.
Is that a good question Austin asked? Do we know if it was filled with bullets or were the blanks just too close range?
Oh no, it was a live round.
Hmm.
There was one live round and 5 blanks in that handgun.
And there were live rounds. Blanks that are close range still have the power to kill, but these were live.
They do. This wasn't a blank that was in the incident, and it wasn't a piece of foreign material in the barrel that got pushed out because of a blank. It was a lot. It was a bullet. It was a full on bullet. But
Jamie asked a really good question. Why would they have a live round on there for?
Well, because some knuckleheads were doing plinkers for funsies in between on the off hours. They would take the guns that they were using on sets, which weren't props. They were obviously real firearms, and they were setting up cans and they were shooting them.
Sarah says everyone who holds a gun of any sort bears the responsibility to check.
Well, that is going to be held up in court. Yeah, that's a valid argument. But it's not. But it's going to take judges and juries to figure this out, and prosecutors, because anyway.
Michelle said, "Didn't
it's tragic? My heart goes out."
Didn't someone say they were shooting hot rounds? Hot rounds at target zone.
Now there's speculation that it was sabotage. That the workers didn't like the conditions and they purposely intermingled at least one live round in with the blanks or something. I don't know. If that. We'll have to see if that's true.
Joe joining us on YouTube says every firearm should be considered loaded.
Exactly. Hi, Joe. Hey, he's coming to me over there on the Awesome Fun Things channel. Excellent. Yeah, give me some watch time over there, Joe. Appreciate that. Joe's no joke. He was an armorer in the Marines. He's a former Marine. He knows his stuff for sure.
Austin asks, did someone die during this? I didn't do much research, and if they died, were they born?
Yeah, the camera person died. Yeah. Helena was her name.
Helena,
the camera operator. And it went through the camera operator and landed in the shoulder of the director, because the director was looking over the camera operators. Yeah. And any questions about this subject? Joe's my go-to.
Joe, if you want to jump on, the link's up there if you want to talk about that real quick.
Joe's a funny guy. He'll do jokes. He'll just we'll be at a party and he'll just announce, "Excuse me, attention." He says, "Due to the rising cost of ammo, there will be no warning shots. You've all been warned."
Consider it as rewarding.
He's got a whole handful of those zingers. I love Joe to death. He's great. Yeah. Oh.
That's a messy situation. And you also have to think about it this way. Well, remember where all of this happened. Texas. So there's a political sort of clout that's going on underneath the hood as well. But yeah, firearms should be checked. Go ahead, sorry.
I just hope clarity is provided as to what actually happened, because people walked off the set a day or earlier or the day before, so they got a new crew in there because people weren't happy with the safety and other things. There were some saying COVID, Some were saying the armorer wasn't allowed to approach the actors because they wanted to keep people away from the actors. So they put the stuff on a cart and then someone else. I mean, who knows if that's true? Like this is an ongoing, like every day there's a new major piece of this puzzle that drops or a new accusation. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Gilly
But,
says, just being a human being, if you're handed a gun, you should be able to check it yourself or never hold one unsupervised hand and shoulder close.
Yeah, Dwayne The Rock Johnson said he's only working with rubber firearms, and they'll just go frame by frame and replace them in post at a huge cost, because that's not cheap. He's like, I'm not playing anymore. I mean, no.
It is a valid argument.
In my personal sense is, I think Alec is going to be on the hook for this. I really do. And probably others. But I don't think he can get out of it. Being the producer, if he was just the talent, I think there'd be a chance. There'd be a slight chance it could be lenient if he was only the talent. But he's not. He was the producer.
There's culpability when you're part of the production staff.
Anyway.
Moving away from the Alec Baldwin situation, Michelle asks, are there plans for the weekend?
I am dog sitting. I've canceled some things so I can stay in my house with my son's dog, who is a total spaz. My son's dog, not my son. She is a spaz. She's high strung and she's young and she just loves everything to death and she needs constant attention.
But does the dog love Brazilian Radizia?
She loves anything she can sniff. And my friends might come over Saturday because I gave them the guilt trip. I'm like, I can't come out with the gang. I'm like, but why don't you come to my house afterwards?
Party's over here.
Save me from my boredom.
Sarah asks, how's your lawn going, Matt?
I got to get that one last mow in because it's going into winter. Summer's leaving us, and we're in autumn, and it's going to be winter any day now. And
Any second.
I think the last mow is going to happen probably tomorrow if it's nice. Because we've had 2 frosts. I don't know if the grass grows after that. Grass is like, oh, hell no.
One frost, okay. 2 frosts, no good. And the peppers that are out on the deck, they're done, as well as the tomatoes. And it was a great backyard garden that we started this year. It wasn't bad.
I got to throw out my ferns. I have those nice hanging ferns that you saw if you were watching me do some lives in the August Lita Challenge. They're not, they can't make it, so they got to go in the trash. Which sucks because you water them twice a day, all spring, all summer. Anyway.
Austin, I think you're right. Wouldn't be surprised if you got snow tomorrow. Indiana is weird like that. It's cold. It's cold in the Northeast, but also in the Mid-Atlantic, or another. I guess Indiana would be kind of Mid-Atlantic, but yeah, it's that cold. So I wouldn't be surprised either, Austin. Sarah doesn't have any frost.
Yeah, but they have kangaroos.
That's right. And waltzing Matildas.
And dingoes.
And dingoes. Because a dingo ate your baby.
What is the deal? People have just got to figure out Australia. Like, come on. Like,
Sarah, could you explain the dingo? I mean, you know the link. Just explain the dingo. Let us know.
It's just an open-ended question. It's just like, Australia, what the heck?
What the hell?
And that applies to everything. It applies with the politics. It applies with the lockdowns. It applies with the animals. It applies with the terrain. It applies with the whole continent. Like, what is going on with Australia?
No frost, no firearms, no fireworks.
Oh
she makes it. There you go. Austin, it was technically considered Midwest. The region maps don't make any sense. I guess it would technically be Midwest Indiana, but that doesn't make any sense at all. Sarah says a dingo is like a bear in a dog's body. What about fries? And Rich says Dingo is a convict dog. And Sarah says no fun. Michelle says as long as fun is allowed.
I support fun. Got it right.
I am 110 million%
Oh,
for the fun.
did you hear about my potential new show name for a new streaming service?
Hmm.
Well, you know, I have awesome fun things and I have awesome wood things. This new streaming show, which might or might not happen with Sandy Archer. I don't know if you know her. It'll be called Awesome Things.
Awesome things.
So we're just going to talk about awesome things. I don't know. I'm trying to make that happen. We'll see.
Sarah has fries, but they call them chips, so it's basically the UK sort of nomenclature there. I think the UK does the same thing with fries, but they're chips, hence fish and chips. It's really
shrimp
fish and
on
fries.
the bobby.
That's right. Really prawns. Yeah, when they say shrimp, they mean prawns.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, and we got Austin joining us. Hey, Austin, hang on 1 second. You got to play the role of Paul Burke tonight. So there you go.
Yeah, I can be Paul.
Hi, Austin. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to have you here. What's new with you?
Not much, not much. Stressed out with school, but life of a senior.
Mm.
How much school do you have left? I guess you're halfway through the year? Maybe?
Yeah, about halfway.
Okay.
We just, I guess not really halfway, it'd be a quarter.
Oh, all right.
Or
Yeah,
we-
I guess
we-
so. Because August, I came back.
We just had
Nice.
midterm.
All right. Buckle down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Good grades.
getting through the first and into the second quarter, and you know, in a pivotal year before you start your collegiate career.
Is your
post.
future so bright you have to wear shades?
There you go.
I like that.
I wish I came up with it, but I didn't.
Michelle says, "Hey."
What's on the outlook, if you don't mind me asking, Austin? What do you see like the next couple years being like? Any ideas?
Well, once I graduate college, once I graduate high school, I want to go into college. There's a couple in-state colleges that I've been looking at, universities. I want to go for animation or graphic design because I love doing that. Using Blender. I know your love for Blender.
I do love Blender.
It's so fun. It's such a great program. I use it for 3D modeling and 3D animation, but I also use it for 2D animation, and I'm starting to use it for video editing as well. And haven't even scratched the surface, and I've been using it for about 3 years now. Haven't even scratched the surface of what it has, the potentials.
It's a big
is-
program.
It's
Video
huge.
editing, 3D modeling, and an animation program.
And you can do the effects.
It's a big boy. Big piece of software.
Sarah says
Good on you.
their school year down in Australia runs on a calendar year, so they're almost finished for the year.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
I went
Americans
to
don't make any
design
sense.
school. So nice.
Americans don't make sense. We don't run by a calendar year. We use Imperial that doesn't make any sense at all. We just got to be different.
Well, one could argue that Imperial makes much more sense because having things in increments of 10, like metric, seems easier. But in many ways, it's not.
But it's easier to
Because-
remember.
Well, it's easier to do stuff in your head, but think about it this way. 12 is perfect because you can divide it in half, 6, and you can divide it in quarters, 3. So 12 has that magical properties. You
Or
can't do that
thirds.
with 10. because you would have to do 2.5 would be quarter. And it does do 5. 10 does split into halves, just like a 12 does. But 12 has
12 is
more.
magical, Austin.
12 has more powers. So, anyway.
All right.
It's my
Okay,
favorite
I
number
got it.
plus 1.
What's Gilly saying here?
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up. You won't see 97% of your graduating class ever again. That's a fun thing they don't tell you.
Oh no, they do tell me. Trust me about that one.
Well, Gilly, there's a thing called Facebook now, and you can't get away from them. Especially, do you know who you will get in contact with years later? Your classmates that are running MLM schemes.
That's right. And prepaid legal.
Classmate, you want to be a boss babe like me?
Would you like to go into my multi-dimensional, multi-level marketing scheme? That'd be great. Laura says Greek versus base 10. And Marilyn informs us that 13 is her lucky number. So she is far from triskaidekaphobic.
8 is my lucky number. Don't know why.
It's a good number.
3, 6, and 9 have special significance, especially 9.
But not
Nine's a
12.
great-
Awesome number.
12 is a magic number, but you're just not going to choose 12.
You said that too fast. What'd you say?
12 is a magical number, but you're not going to choose 12?
No. 9 has much more significance than 12. 12 just it's an easy way to make a system. But 9 is
Nine's a
3,
magical
6,
number.
and 9. That's the secret to the universe. 3, 6, and 9.
Laura says that 14's her lucky number.
Yeah.
And Sarah hates MLMs like the rest of the free world.
Yeah.
Although,
Will you be in my
am I?
down line? MLM down. I watched that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they bought timeshares. And they're like, well, if you buy 2 timeshares, you can rent out the one, charge double, and then you can vacation for free. So what did the guys do? You know what? We'll buy 3, and then they'll pay us to go on vacation. And, and the guy even says, I don't think it works like that. No, we're buying. They thought they pulled one over on the MLM guy selling timeshares because they bought 3. Then they had 3 worthless timeshares.
Sarah doesn't want oils, leggings, vitamins, weight loss shakes, scented candles.
You know what? You know what those MLMs are doing now? They're saying, "Here's my lemon. What do you call it? The oils. I put a little bit in
Essential
my
oils.
rice."
Yeah.
And essential oils are very toxic to the human body. Even a drop should not be consumed orally. So they're like, "This isn't fun. Like this
Austin, you're
is
on mute.
dangerous.
I know.
Bad for society." A good MLM is one that you get in on the ground floor, because only 4% of the pyramid makes any money. Like a pyramid is a wealth redistribution where of the bottom funds the riches of the top.
Are you trying to sell me a timeshare? Is that what this come down to? Is this a 3-hour pitch for a weekend in like
No,
Barbados,
I just
and you're trying to sell me?
I understand what those are, what MLMs are. Because, they say you get 5 people and those 5 people get 5 people. You can only do it 13 times until you max out the 7 billion people in the world. It doesn't.
Well, it's like the hair commercial, right? They told 2 friends and they told 2 friends and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, you can't. It doesn't go that many generations until you literally. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook maps the friends of friends. Like it can only go 5 times until everyone's connected.
Yeah.
The 7 ways to Kevin Bacon. There's really only like 5 ways between every person on Facebook. If you're talking friends of friends.
Sarah says they put them in capsules with the lemon essential oil.
Yeah.
I feel like I am the Paul Berg here. Like, he usually just sits here and stays quiet while you guys talk. I feel like that's what I am doing.
The way you survive VF Talks is you have to understand these 2 words. jump in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's improv. You know what? I'll tie that into improv like Paul would.
That's right.
That is improv. You just jump in.
You can't wait to speak up. You gotta force yourself in there.
It's a giant dance, Matt. We're doing a giant dance.
Yeah.
That is my issue though, because I usually wait for people to stop talking, and then I'll go to talk, and somebody else will start talking, so I'll step back. Yeah.
John and I don't
I
care.
have.
Oh.
Jump
Laura
in.
says Facebook is a huge web.
Yeah.
It is.
And Gilly says, new MLM, bottom floor, new natural artificial turf carpeting has healing properties, crystals included, Matt Haas owner. Be very important to spell Haas correctly, though.
That's my alias name.
And Laura asks, where is the Paul Burke tonight?
Yeah. Where's Paul?
I think his cats have abducted him. They have some demands they're putting on him.
So the cats were posting for him before.
I think their primary complaint is he lets the kibble bowl get down to where they can see the bottom of the kibble bowl, which is blasphemy as far as a cat's concerned.
Blasphemy!
It's got to be you can't
it's
see the
so-
bottom of the bowl.
It's so
of
true
kibbles.
though.
Like that's what cats want.
Stevie's put
That's
some
how
weight
my
on.
cat is. That's how my cat is, and sometimes I just want to throw her.
Stevie used to
Luckily-
be this very small cat, and now every time I see her, she's eating dry food all day. And like she's taking after Bruce. Bruce is, like 900 pounds. And that Maine Coon cat is just laying around all over the place. But I think she's adopted Bruce's eating habits because she's developed a little bit of. But then she could also be a linebacker. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Oh, how you doing?
Is that a husky?
Yep. Purebred
Hi,
Siberian.
baby. Hi, baby girl.
Aw.
My friends have a husky, and it was laying down in the snow, and a neighbor called the cop, and a cop pulls up, sees the husky, rolls right on by like they're built for snow. Like,
Yeah.
the dog's probably hot. The neighbor thought they were neglecting their dog. You're like, it's a husky.
We had our old husky out one time. She had food, she had water, everything outside. Somebody called animal control on us. Yeah, they just kept going. They didn't care.
Yeah. Well, some people don't know. I hope they.
The only
meant
issue
well.
with huskies is that they're runners. They will run.
How fast does she do the quarter mile?
You know, I haven't really checked.
How fast does she do 4 furlongs? You want to talk about weird, measures? How fast does she do a furlong? Oh, someone's in trouble.
Oh yeah, they're coming for me.
Oh, Matt, I told you they're gonna catch on with that time in Tijuana. I knew that was gonna happen.
All my ill-gotten gains and my larceny that I do.
Part of your new channel, Awesome Larceny Things. Really excited about that.
Awesome illegal things.
Awesome Legal Things.
Oh.
Awesome Wired Fraud Things. All of it. We got
Or
all
should it be illegal awesome things?
Yeah,
That sounds
legal
fun.
awesome things that are awesome. Awesome
Yeah,
illegal wire fraud things.
I only do legal things.
Legal
But,
or illegal things.
They might not be moral, but
Sorry,
they're legal.
Mississippi.
Like, do you ever hear like the tax phrase Dutch sandwich?
For a Dutch oven.
No, not Dutch oven. There's ways that you can use, I think, Ireland and some of the Scandinavian. You can move money around in such a way that it ends up being tax free, and it's called something 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 Dutch sandwich. And all corporations do it. Every major corporation has these offices in these strategic locations, and the way that they all flies under the radar. But it's completely legal, 100% legal.
Dutch sandwich, Dutch oven, Dutch boy paint, all of it.
Awesome.
Jamie says awesome legal things.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Ah.
That's a awesome name.
It is a awesome name. If you have Harvey Levin do a little bit of a cameo on it, you got it's like TMZ but better.
See, don't give me ideas to make new channels because I will do them. I will create them.
But remember, you need like a giant sort of coffee standing by a water cooler overlooking your staff as you go over the awesome legal things of the day during your live stream. Just taking the whole TMZ concept.
Maybe I should start one. Awesome husky things.
There you go.
Do it. Do it.
And then Rich is spelling it Haas as in the last name. Awesome legal things. Awesome.
No wrong way to do it.
There is no wrong way. Just do it.
MattHaas.com, but with two S's and not two A's.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love that. It's so great.
Yeah. Here, I'll put that in the chat. If you want to watch 8 seconds of fun, https://
We add the extra S. That's for savings.
There you go. I put the misspelling of my name as a URL in the chat. If you want to pop that in a new window and
There we go.
use 8 seconds of your life to see what I did there. The guy had the audacity. There's another Matt Haas out there, same first name, same last name. He wanted to buy that off. He wanted me to give him that domain that he abandoned. He abandoned it.
I guess you could say he was being a hasshole.
He says, since you're not using it, I would like you to give it to me for free.
And for anyone who's checking, I didn't swear. I said hasshole. So I'm good. That's right. Like that censors.
I'm not using it. I'm like, I am using it.
That's right.
You cannot have it for free because it took me 10 years to pry it out of your hands.
Which reminds us of Hasselhoff and being drunk and eating Wendy's on the.
Good old David Hasselhoff.
Sponsored by Wendy's.
I had the weirdest conversation with my parents today, one that I never thought I'd have with my parents. Before I go on, I will say viewer discretion advised.
Viewer discretion is advised.
You're on the right platform.
So we were talking about debating because I do like debate. I really think I should be in debate class. And I told my dad that like when I debate, I don't like to say what's wrong with the other viewport. I only back up my side. And he says, well, those are qualities of a good debater. Don't know why I said it. I said, would you say that they're the qualities of a master debater?
Yeah.
And he cracked up. My mom was like, Austin, just scolding me. But my dad was laughing.
Do you know what the... Okay, Matt Haas debating. Okay. Do you know what the corporate title is for someone who tests sex toys in a sex toy shop? The master beta tester.
Right.
I'm here all week. Tip your waitresses.
And this is where we lose Michelle. She says, well, wonderful people, time to find a movie to watch with Mom. Happy trails. Happy trails to you, Michelle.
Bye, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Sorry we ran you off.
So what if you ended up in it? What if you, in calculus, you ended up debating something? What would that be?
I don't know. I'm not good at calculus, so...
X over Y?
No. What kind of calculus is a branch of what?
Trig?
Broader.
I mean...
Broader.
I'm in pre-calc, not actual calc, so...
Which is
I
in
don't know.
what department in your high school?
Math?
Math?
The math baiter?
Math.
Oh,
Right. There you go.
okay. Okay.
Oh, my.
Oh, it felt like, you know,
It was there.
yeah, Michelle got it though. She said, "Oh, you didn't." Yeah,
Oh, good, good. I'm glad,
math
Michelle.
Debater.
I don't know who you
Yeah.
are, Michelle, but I like you.
Michelle, we love you.
So speaking of school, yesterday, during fourth period, the fire alarm went off.
Oh god.
Scared us all because during fourth periods when we have lunch, they won't do a fire drill during fourth period. And there was nothing gone out. Nothing was sent out saying that there was going to be a fire drill. And because of all the school shootings that have been going on recently, they make us sit in the classroom until they check and make sure there's an actual fire. Luckily, I don't think there was a fire. There was just smoke in the cafeteria. I think still don't know. They never told us. Somebody could have pulled the fire alarm. I honestly don't know. But yeah, we sat there for a good 5-10 minutes before they got on the announcements and said, you guys can leave. 5 to 10 minutes.
Oof.
Like, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. If this building was actually on fire and you made us wait 5 to 10 minutes to get outside.
Yeah.
I don't envy.
I'm surprised your parents or the PTA didn't raise that in retrospect of this week's events.
You would think so, but I don't think many parents know about it.
Jamie says school shootings are so sad.
They are. I hate that's the world that we live in now.
Yeah. It's a sad and sick world we live in.
I have a friend who had somebody pull the fire alarm twice at their school today and a threat of a school shooting today.
Well,
It's
if people think that can fly under the radar, they're mistaken.
Laura asks, did you see what Holcomb did, Austinator? Indiana is filing suit.
No, I didn't see what Holcomb did. I don't pay attention to politics. I try to stay away from that. I honestly don't care.
Laura, if you want to tell us, there's the link up there. We can get you on cam. One of these days, one of these years, I'll get the pointing down.
It's like inserting a USB-A. It's like wrong,
right.
Still wrong,
still wrong,
right,
right.
Though something that's cool, Jim Banks, do you guys? He ran for office this year, and he was a congressman. It was Jim Banks, right? Yeah, Congressman Jim Banks. I believe that's who it was. He actually went to my school. Like, he graduated from the school that I go to now.
Really?
Okay.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Didn't realize this. Sammy says, I have not seen one at my school at all. The school that I go to looks like a home. It was a home in the 1800s.
Yeah, Sammy, you go to private school. We're talking about public schools.
Right.
Public schools are completely different.
Laura says, Indiana is filing suit against the vaccine mandate. WTF.
Okay, I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Neither am I. And then, totally not related, Marcus says, that's exactly how USB works. Wrong way, right way.
I'm the type of nerd that I watched the YouTube video explaining the history of USB and how they went through.
The
USB
universal
micro,
serial
USB
bus
mini,
and you.
USB C, USB this, USB that. Yeah.
Sammy was in public schools, and it was so bad. Do we pull
Yeah,
a Gene
public
Rayburn
school.
and say, how bad was it? No?
No. I am a former public school director. I ran for office and was elected into a public school. And I ran that school with my 8 other board colleagues for 6 years. I did 1.5 terms, 4-year terms, 1.5 terms.
6 years.
Anyone have $27 million? That's what the budget was 10 years ago when I was in it. Now it's probably
$27 million.
probably 38 million now, I would imagine. I can look, I can pull it up online. But that's tough, man. A lot of property, a lot of construction projects, and a lot of things like you have to deal with that you don't think. I want to help education. Well, there's a lot more to it than just eye-opening experience, to say the
Marcus
least.
says, hearing that makes me feel lucky he lives in Switzerland.
Switzerland, yeah.
And Laura says, wow.
Yeah, if you ever want to get into a position where you make a decision and half the neighborhood hates you, because
How to make instant enemies. Tell your friends that you don't have any because you have enemies. Nothing but enemies.
there's no way around it. Like there
See,
was
Austin, I thought you'd be like a Minnesota Vikings fan and be something completely not Indiana, but there you go. He's got the Colts bedsheet and everything.
I got some crazy stories for when I was on the board. Maybe we can talk about that another show if you want. But yeah.
Sammy says, I saw a lot of bullying. I have to tell Austin some stories. Yeah. Yeah, definitely share that with Austin, because Austin is working on that presentation on bullying. So that'd be great to get your 2 cents added to that.
I was a thin, scrawny kid in high school, so I was on the receiving end of the bullies.
Gilly Man says, every time I go outside or watch the news, it feels more like the movie They Live. You know, Roddy Piper.
Good movie, by the way.
Yes. Sammy says, I was just thinking Austin must be taller than Matt and JV. He probably is. Now, Austin, what, you're 8'2", right?
Yeah, 8'2". 8'2.5". Like you gotta add that.
8'2.5" with the hair when you're
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm actually 6'1.5".
Laura says, never want enemies, but made lots of advocating for reading science.
Well, that was my downfall, because I would make decisions that are the best for the students. So if it made sense for the students, I would be for it. And that made a lot of people mad, because a lot of people that are in the system are looking out for themselves. Teachers, everyone has their own advocate. You know, the teachers have their union, and then the administrators have a group, and contractors have their, everyone has representation except the student. The students only have the school board. So I would vote in favor of the students, and then it would ultimately make some faction mad.
Sammy, Austin's close to Paul's height.
No, wait, what?
He said Austin is taller than Paul, maybe.
Maybe. I think Paul said he was 6'1".
That's
right.
I'm
slightly over.
I got a half foot, or a half foot.
With my shoes on, I am 6 foot. So if I ever went on a dating app, I would put down 6 foot.
Of course.
Because
that's for your
I'm almost
Match.com profile.
I think I'm 6'1.5" with shoes. So.
What about with stilettos? Never mind. No, Paul and Austin are about the same height. Paul is tall.
I actually wore stilettos before.
Okay.
Almost broke my ankle.
Gotta be careful. Very little. Oh boy.
Occupation.
I've almost broken my ankle quite a few times. Maybe that's why my right ankle just acts up all the time.
Well, it takes balance and skill to cross dress. Mm-hmm. Sammy says I'm tiny, 5'8". LOL.
5'8"? That's not bad. That's average.
That's so tiny.
That's not tiny. Jamie's 5'7".
I think average
5'10".
Average for a woman is 5'4", 5'5". Average for a male is 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think that's what I remember.
Sammy, these random factoids you have, Sammy. Taller than Callie and Loria. That's good.
Sammy just is creepy. He knows how tall everybody is. He knows where everybody lives. He knows what everybody's blood type is.
Sammy is a very well-connected dude. He's
very
got
well
a
connected.
Rolodex that's filled out.
He is. It's because Sammy's a great person.
Well,
Sammy's an incredible person. We love you, Sammy. Laura's 5'4".
There's a girl at school. She's 5 foot. She's literally a whole foot shorter than me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I usually pick on her. I just put my arm on her head. She hates it.
Oh man. Sarah's 5'1".
There you go. There's no wrong size to be,
No offense, Sarah, but I honestly thought you were shorter than that. So I guess that's a good thing, right?
Sammy asks, I hear it's someone's birthday. Will someone sing to this person?
People singing on Zoom calls or it never turns out well.
No, it never turns out well.
Nope.
No.
Callie's like 5'2" or something like that. Yeah, about 5'2". She's really short. Callie is really short.
Petite.
Sammy says it's next week. So Sammy, next week, what day next week? Let us know in the
The
comments.
11th.
The 11th. Oh, he's a Veterans Day baby. That's right.
Hmm. Wait, tomorrow's my dog's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
All right, husky birthday. How old?
2 or 3, I can't
Oh, just a puppy still.
Oh, the puppy. Marcus is 1.82 meters.
Go metric.
remember. He doesn't.
Carried a 1.
What's that? American.
Marco.
Man.
Yeah, I when people ask me what language I speak, I don't say English, I say American.
Marco. Sammy, you
Yeah.
doing anything fun for your birthday, or do you have anything planned for your birthday next week?
Yeah, I'm gonna drive all the way over there just so I can slap him.
There you go.
That'd be a-
That sounds like a very nice trip.
That would actually be a really good vlog.
Sammy doesn't have any plans. I think you have plans now. Austin's going to come over to Jersey and slap you.
It's Slapsgiving.
It's Slapsgiving, right?
Okay,
Slap-
all right.
Slapsgiving in northern Jersey.
Now that we're talking about slapping, that gets me onto this other thing. Oh, so TikTok.
TikTok,
Yeah.
of course.
So TikTok's huge with the kids now. I don't get it, but they call me the young boomer because I am not hip with any of the trends.
All those young whippersnappers, Austin, you're saying?
Yep. All them young whippersnappers, all the them kids,
Them crazy
Them.
kids.
and them crazy kids. But anyway, so the entire month of September, October, I can't remember which one it was Slap a Teacher month. And the entire trend was to go up to a teacher and either slap their face or slap their behind. And our school got on the intercom and said, if we catch any of you doing this, teachers will press charges.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not a good trend
No.
to continue.
No.
And then before that, you had the devious lick. So stupid. You'd go in to a teacher's room, go into the bathroom, anywhere in the school, and you would just take something. You'd steal it. We had toilet seats taken. We had soap dispensers taken. We had whole bathroom
man.
stall doors taken.
Jamie's teacher calls it the tick tick.
Tick tick. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. Tick tick. The
What
tic tac.
is wrong with people?
The artist known as Paul Burke says, Austin is young. He is younger than me, man.
That's not Paul.
No, it's not. Sammy, I hope you feel better. He says he's still sick.
Paul doesn't say man.
And Jamie says, wow, that's dumb. With the tick tick.
I know a fake Paul account when I see one because I have like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Gilly says, question on topic. So, gentlemen, how about those clocks going back, and how does that affect our lives?
Well, if you vote for me for president in 2024, my campaign promise is to do away with daylight saving time. So
Be like
vote
Utah.
Haas. Do I have your vote?
You have my vote.
No, we're
Well-
going to go to 4 times. We're going to do it 4 times a year. We're going to actually have more clock changes. So we're actually going to turn it forward and then turn it back. And we're going to turn it forward and we're going to turn it back.
Each season you have to
Each
change
season. It's going to be seasonal. It's going to be exciting.
All the clocks change themselves around here,
That's right,
except for
so-
the stove and the microwave.
right.
Those have to be done.
it. And your car radio you just don't touch.
Oh, and I have to do that too. Now that you think about it.
Sammy reminds us that in 2024 he'll be able to vote. Also Austin. And Sammy likes the hour of sleep.
I mean, you don't Like technically you get an extra hour of sleep, but that's also not exactly good for you.
Mm-mm.
It throws off
A
your
lot of
sleep schedule.
accidents. Sarah
Actually,
says, will you create a campaign channel, Matt?
Sadly, yes.
Ha! Ha!
Awesome election
Knew it.
election
I
things.
knew it.
Awesome presidential things.
I know it. Oh,
That would
God.
be fun. Well, I would need to first form an exploratory committee to see if my candidacy would be viable. So I need some volunteers to be on my presidential exploratory. Would you like to be?
I
Okay,
got you.
I got 2 already.
Yeah, even though we're opposed to it, it's okay. I'll support you. Laura hates daylight savings. She'll vote for that without question.
You know what I would also do if I was president of the United States? I would get rid of time zones. I would put the entire country on UTC.
Mm,
Sammy wakes up at 5:45 and Austin wakes up like at 6 something, so 1 hour of sleep is nice. So he knows what time you wake up in the
6
morning, Austin.
6? No, he's wrong though, because I get up at 5:30.
Matt, I don't know what time you wake up. You don't know what time I wake up. And yet Austin and Sammy know what time each of them wake up. That's
Hey, don't put me into this. I don't know what time he wakes up. I do now. I didn't.
All right, Sammy,
Oh, wait.
tell us what time Callie and Laria wakes up. Just give us the whole thing. Give us the whole thing, Sammy. Jesus. Gilly says, I think Hunter S. Thompson was going to do that when he ran for mayor of Aspen.
You know, we have to start thinking as a global. I mean, how are we going to go to Mars? I mean, we need to be on one time for the.
We can't
whole
get our own planet
world.
straight. We're going to go to Mars? Come on, give me a break.
Well, let me. Well, that's different because the days are different. Their days are not 24 hours over there. So it
I
shifts.
do have something for time zones, because
Hmm.
I kind of feel like time zones do work out because of the different, like it gets dark in some places faster than the other because of the rotation of the Earth around the sun. Scientific Earth-based stuff. But yeah, the cast of the shadow. If it's gonna be, I feel like 12 a.m. should be dark. 12 p.m. should be peak daylight. That's how that's just how it should be everywhere. So I feel like time zones do work out.
Oh, I mean, it's good that you're thinking in a wrong fashion.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know this was going to be crossfire.
Maybe you shouldn't be on my presidential exploratory committee, Austin. I don't
Maybe I
don't
shouldn't.
think you believe
On
in
the
what I
left,
believe.
Matt Haas. On the right, Austin. The topic, time zones.
Oh my.
Hey, I was called a master debater. Let's debate.
Oh, there you go. Debating calculus has always been something I enjoy.
No, seriously, when you're dealing with California, New York, England, and India, it is very hard to figure out when those meetings start.
We don't
And
have to care.
the only time you can do it is around noon. Because they're ready to go to bed in India and they're just waking up in California, and then that's the only time you can hold meetings. And
But then you have people in the Philippines that are it's midnight.
India's on the half hour. They don't fall on the hour. It's 9.5 hours.
Sammy would be on Matt's team, the AV dude that streams in 4K to YouTube with 4K Sonys with Ecamm on a $50,000 Mac. So you got the technology behind him.
Sammy, I need your streaming smarts for my presidential campaign.
Laura agrees. 12 o'clock is the no shadow hour.
I just think if we were all on UTC, whatever time it would be that the sun comes up, that's the new hour so you wouldn't have to say, oh, I only wanted the sun to be up at 8 a.m. It wouldn't be like that. It would be.
Jamie is pro
But-
Austin on time zones.
But in that case, would you also have to deal with, like, would you go to sleep when it gets dark, or would you be awake when it's dark?
No,
If we're all in the same time zone.
You keep the same sleep cycle. It'll just be a different hour. The hour marker would be different, and you would just get used to it. It would take you 3 days, and you'd be fine. You would get used to it. Easy peasy.
I don't know about that.
That's the way. Well, then the whole world would be on the same time zone, and you could set meetings properly without going through a lookup on Google to figure out, oh, what is UK compared to ours. If you say, okay, well, we're
6
1
hours.
a.m. here in the East Coast. What? Oh, it's 5 p.m. in the.
So
they
if we're
5 hours?
gonna do things on a 9 to 5 UTC schedule or 900 hours to 1700 hours UTC, it's obviously going to have a daylight, a sunset sunrise sort of implication to everybody who works that global schedule.
Yeah.
Yes, you'd still have people going to sleep at different times because they would sleep when it's dark and they would wake up when it's light. But just the scheduling would get easier. Then you could say it's this time. It's our meeting is 14 UTC, and everyone would know exactly when that is. It would be easy.
Okay, but that also throws off the 24-hour clock.
No, the clock would still have 24 hours. You would just go to bed and wake up at a different hour, because we would all be UTC.
You start the day at 0 and you end at 2400.
No. The world starts
23:59.
at 0 and goes to 24. And wherever you are in the world, when it's sunny is when you wake up, and when it's dark is when you go to bed. It would work out. It would be fine.
Sammy wonders about Hawaii, and Sammy also wonders if Rex would be on JV's team. No, Rex is on his own team.
Hawaii is 6 hours behind EST. I know that.
Yeah. Try and have a meeting with someone from Japan, Hawaii, California, New York, England, and India.
Well,
It's
Matt,
not
I'm basically in that situation on Monday, very early Monday morning, because I'm taking a training that starts at 1 a.m. Eastern.
1 a.m. Holy cow.
Because it's based in APAC. Or maybe EMEA.
Yes.
Either
Jamie.
EMEA or APAC, but it's definitely
Jamie,
not.
Yes. It's scheduling. We're getting rid of time zones because of scheduling, and we're getting rid of daylight saving because it's stupid.
I agree with daylight savings. We don't need
Haas.
daylight savings.
Gilly says, Matt Haas starts with this, then goes into flat earth legislative actions.
No.
I will
no.
fight you on the flat earth. I have a friend who is a flat earther, and she drives me insane.
I don't even play with the flat earthers. That's so ridiculous.
Sammy's thinking about Rex's voice because Sammy's still the only person that has voiced Rex, which sounds something like this.
Here's my voice of Rex. Hello, my name is Rex the T-Rex, and I love to curse. You know I love it. I love it so much. But
Yep, that's
That's
the
not
voice.
Rex. There wasn't nearly enough curse words in that.
No, he cleaned it up for Lita. Laura says someone has to adjust. Yeah, it's true. Gilly says common guys, the math works out. Yep. Sarah says, welcome to my world, JV. Everything is at 2 a.m.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
I'm really sorry.
I think
Sammy's-
you should vote me the president of the world, Sarah.
Sammy says this is 1 year old. Sammy, it's older than a year old because that was August of 2020. So it's carried a 1. 15 months.
My theory on flat Earth is if the Earth was flat, cats would have knocked everything off by now.
It's true. I'm sure Stevie has something to say about that too.
I think it was a joke. I think the aliens had a bet. They're like, I bet you humans are so stupid we can get a percentage of the population to believe the Earth is flat. And another alien says, no, they're not that stupid. And they're like, okay, let's bet on it. And then here we are.
Well, see, that's another good thing, another good topic, because my art teacher every morning has a food for thought, and the food for thought today was we are either alone in the universe, or there are other people or other living things in the universe both are equally scary. Which I agree. They both
No.
are. I
No.
don't say equally, but they both are a little scary.
The first instance is terrifying. The second instance seems about right.
Why are there even flat earthers? Laura asks.
Because they're dumb. Flat earthers, it's really more like a conspiracy movement, but flat Earth is just so fucking stupid.
Matt, I will say this, and kind of a tease for Thursday. I was gonna call the episode "Man versus Himself." I'm gonna go back to that name for Thursday, but I'm gonna talk about why we get our own way when we're trying to think of something. And I'm looking at you right now because you're someone that gets things done and just goes full steam ahead. What sort of advice would you give someone who constantly talks themselves out of doing anything?
You ask yourself, is what I'm about to do stupid? And if the answer is yes, you don't do that thing.
What if you think everything is stupid when you try to talk yourself down from everything?
If you think everything is stupid?
Yeah, well, when you have that sort of negative perspective of yourself because you talk yourself out of things.
I think the answer to that is, in that instance, you're stuck at the action you're considering taking.
Mm.
And you can't be at that low level when you're in this block. You've got to think of the bigger picture. What am I trying to achieve?
Right.
And then you work backwards from that. So am I trying to launch the awesome things show? Okay. Well, now what? So if I'm hung up on, do I make the banner or do I get with my co-host or do I try? If you're kind of like crunching like the detail, you get out of the detail,
Right.
and then you focus on the bigger picture, and
Right.
then you can get re-energized. Also, you can do tell yourself, all right, I'm just gonna spend 5 minutes doing it. I'm only gonna commit 5 minutes. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna put 5 minutes into it, and then I'm gonna stop if I want to.
Mhm.
And then that's another technique that you can do. I don't know, John. It's just, I think to be successful, you've got to say no a lot. You got to
right.
say no an awful lot, but you gotta think about what it is you're trying to do. And we went around and around when we were on the show. I'm like, look at your life. If you don't know what you want to do or what you want to achieve, what did you do in high school that was fun? Well, maybe that could be your thing. What did you do last year? What was the best thing you did last year? Okay.
Right.
Oh, you went on a roller coaster? Maybe you can be the roller coaster enthusiast. There's a whole world of awesomeness out there, and things are awesome to different people. It's not hard to figure out what you might be into. And it's not hard to try stuff too. You can try stuff, and if you don't like it, you can move on.
The
I've
reason
tried
why I'm
sculpting.
gravitating to that topic is I've had a lot of friends and family in the last month or so that have talked themselves out of seriously great ideas because they got in their own way. And
Another thing is, people get in their own way
Mhm.
because it's other people's opinions and other people's feedback that they need. You got to get to the point where you're like, you don't control my happiness, and
Right.
I don't care what you think. And then you go for it. That's how you get up in front of your entire town and do a dance competition. You have to not give a flip. It was for charity. Like, if the worst happened, I went out of step. I did the most horrible routine. I got laughed at.
It was for
It
charity.
was for charity.
Yeah.
I did, so that's the fallback.
Right.
So don't care what other people think. I was talking to someone I graduated with. I shouldn't say this.
I'm really glad I asked you that tonight because I was trying to find the right way to put it. And as always, Matt, you nailed it. And Sarah, you're going to get bonus points on this too. She says, convince people to get rid of their crap and people watch me clean my house. You can definitely do whatever you're good at.
Yeah.
Sarah, you're incredible. You're
Or not
absolutely
even what you're good at. You could just do something you're passionate about. People like to see the struggle. That's why I did Piano Awesome. I wanted to have people watch me month after month get a little bit better at piano each time. I'm not the best at it.
Laura says the lack of reality is weird.
I get, the thing that holds people back is they want they want the approval of others, and that you gotta let that go.
Yeah, without question.
You gotta let it go.
Own
I
your
have
own
a
truth,
T-shirt.
own your own narrative.
I have a T-shirt on Teespring. It says, "Do what you want and ignore haters."
That's right.
That's how you plow forward. Now you have to be a good moral centered person, so you just can't go like do what it. It's not do what thou wilt, like do unscrupulous things, but still.
Sammy's wondering how you're liking Restream. Just to do a course correct, I'm just trying to.
I'm liking it. I wasn't happy with the iPad using Safari to call up the Restream Studio, and then going out from there. I did not have a good stream at all with that. And it may have been because I was on my 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network rather than my 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. It may have been that, but I wasn't. And it was a brand new iPad, the new one, the iPad Mini. I don't know. But no, I like Restream. Restream it's a complicated thing, and they're trying to make it simple. But Restream isn't just Restream. No one just uses Restream. You've got when you add Ecamm to it, and when you add the platforms to it, platforms have specific things you need to do. Your streaming software has specific things you need to do, and your Restream has specific, and it all got to be in sync. Because like I had a couple mess ups where I didn't choose Restream in Ecamm. I had everything set up, but I was still streaming to YouTube through Ecamm. And I'm like, Restream's broken. I'm like, no, Restream was fine. I didn't. So, anyway,
It's on you, not you.
kudos to Restream for doing the product as good as they can. I would like even more integration because you can't do playlists through Restream. Like if you set up a YouTube as part of your channels, like you get the lowest common denominator. Like you can't pick. I don't know.
I would say Restream's model of continuous improvement, continuous delivery is not bad. I think Restream really does a good job as far as testing things, but also proceeding forward with a CI/CD sort of model to make sure their service is latest and greatest for the people that use it.
Whoever on this stream has influence with Restream, tell them to get rid of the reCAPTCHA on the Restream comment app. That reCAPTCHA has to come right the fuck off of that application. It is goddamn ridiculous. It is the worst experience I have ever seen that should not be in. Whoever's responsible at Restream for putting reCAPTCHA in that freaking application should get disciplined and or terminated.
If you're scoring at home, Matt owes the show $10 for 2 uses of the F-bomb at $5 a piece.
Ridiculous. Show me the stop signs in this thing, and you're clicking the freaking buttons, and then they go away, and they put a new image there. No, you click that square. But you're not done
I'll show
with
you
that
where the
square.
freaking ladder is. Jamie says got to do an assignment that's due, so I'm now home from work. Good night, guys. Good night, Jamie. Good seeing you tonight.
We've been going 2 hours and 8 minutes.
This is hour number 8 of VF Talks. I'm glad you're all here. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Though,
Stop worrying about what other people want.
Thank you, Matt. That was really good.
Sorry, Austin. What were you
I
saying?
should have jumped in earlier, but me not jumping in. JV, I'm really glad that you asked the question before the Restream question, because Matt, your little spiel, your inspirational speech, so I'm gonna call it an inspirational speech, it actually gave me the courage to do the Christmas program thing that we do every year, because I did it once back in freshman year, and I embarrassed the hell out of me, because they told me to go up and dance in front of the entire school, and I can't dance. And we're gonna do a little. Let's do this. Let's do a little live.
Oh, we're gonna dance this puppy out. So what's happening?
I mean, I can just show you exactly what I did. I put my arms out. I twisted them,
This
and
would be
that's
like a
it.
TikTok video. Oh, he's just
Yep.
What? Really?
That's all I did.
That's calisthenics.
Good on you. Well, you were in front of a lot of people when you did it.
I was in
Great.
front of the entire school, and we're not a big school, but we're a junior senior high, so it was 7 through 12, so there was a lot of people.
Laura says, awesome, Austin.
But yeah, I haven't done it since then because I've been so embarrassed to go up there and do it. But what you said makes me want to go up there and do it.
You wanna do those dance moves again for a second?
Not really.
I'm not gonna throw you off. I was gonna put "She's Got a Ticket to My Heart" in the background. You could do that as my. All right, you ready?
All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
We're gonna dance this puppy out.
Ugh. Yeah.
There we go.
Here we go.
There we
Yeah.
go. There we go. That's awesome.
Heading to Vegas in my blue stripe car.
Okay, that's okay. Got it. All right.
That was great. That actually made me
Austin,
feel so much
Austin, you
better.
are a ham, sir. Thank you for doing that. Speaking of, we probably playing that song again in another 2 or 3 minutes because I'm gonna put a giant bow on this.
Why do you always put giant bows on it? Why can't you put a small bow?
No, it's gotta be giant. It talks about the
Well, what
mind, the
about-
heart. It's gotta be giant.
What about a ribbon? Could you put a ribbon instead of a bow?
What are you, Tony Orlando? You gonna put a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree?
Maybe.
If
Sorry.
that's stuck in your head tonight, good. I'm glad. I'm glad it's stuck in your head now. Old
See, I don't know what
70s
it is,
song.
so when I get off, I'm gonna listen to it.
Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Tony Orlando and Dawn. You're welcome. Matt,
Thank
thank you again for the getting out of your own head advice. I'm like I said, I'm coming up for content for that Thursday night show, and Austin, as always, you're incredible, and all of you. And I'll thank you guys in a minute or two. But Matt, Austin, thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, jumping off.
You too,
Bye,
man.
everyone.
Hey,
Take
guys.
care.
All right. Matt Haas, Austin. Always a fun conversation for sure. You know, a lot of people have approached me about that. And it's like, how do you get out of your own head? How do you get out of your own way? And I think to devote an entire episode on that is going to be the right thing to do without question. So that'll be Thursday. So next week, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, we're going to talk about how we moved the dietary journey from weight loss to muscle building. And that sort of change in mindset, because you know that you're putting the extra activity now into the gym and into lifting weights and whatnot. So your dietary component changes, but also your mentality changes about it too. We're going to talk about that on Tuesday, as I've hit my weight loss goal. I'm at 175 now. So now it's a question about muscle building, but also, running, as we talked about on the show last night. So that's Tuesday. And then Thursday is, I'm going to probably go back to that as the title of Man versus Himself, but, defeating your inner conflict and becoming better with that, and not getting out of your own head and just doing it and doing it. And you have a good idea, go forward with it, because it's the most important thing we could do. So we'll talk about that at some length on Thursday. And then tentative for now, but 1 week from tonight in the RVF Talks at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. So again, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, for turning diet to muscle build. Thursday night, Man versus Himself, or removing the inner conflict, at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And then VF Talks next Friday, tentative right now, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Some final comments here. Austin asks, what's the difference? The difference is this: the caloric content is a lot higher, because now you're not looking to drop 1,000 calories to try to lose 2 pounds. So your basal metabolism rate, your BMR, is different, and you have to take that in consideration. Also, you have to understand how physically fit you are, physically active you are. So if you're working out 6-7 days a week, you're going to be multiplying that number by 1.5, 1.7, 1.9. We'll talk more about that on Tuesday, but good question. Laura with the wave. And Marcus says, great stream, JV. Thank you, Marcus, for tuning in. Thank you all to tuning in tonight on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I absolutely love all of you. It's a great audience we have here, and I'm very appreciative of all of you. But until Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, I'm going to say the same thing I say at the end of every Venture Forward in VF Talks. Stay safe, stay sane, stay strong, stay sober. You're worth it. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Fly be free.